Jones Shorty. today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Mills and the Houston Texans taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, so happy to be with you to kick off this much-anticipated 2021 season. With me in the booth as we begin our 6th season together is, of course, Charles Davis. And, CD, so much to watch for coming up. What are you keeping an eye on?
Well, Brandon, I'm ecstatic to be back with you, of course, and we've got a good one right here out of the gates. I'm interested in seeing some of the changes in 2021. Running backs and wideouts, even linebackers wearing single-digit numbers. But even more than that, I want to see the changes defenses have made, because last year we averaged 49.6 points per game. That's the highest ever by 3 full points. Can these defenses make an adjustment and start to catch up?
Yeah, passer rating, CD, an all-time high. Completion percentage, also an all-time high. So as you said, will those numbers continue to climb northward, or will the defenses adjust? Not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Lawrence will throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Here's Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk, 51 yards. And the Jaguars are on the board here first in the season opener. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. About to get our first look at this Texans offense as they're led out by Davis Mills, their rookie quarterback, selected in the 3rd round from Stanford.
And for many people, a bit of a surprise selection for the Houston Texans was Davis Mills, because he only had 11 starts during his time at Stanford. But coming out of high school, many ranked him as the #1 quarterback going into college football. Has a live arm, better mobility than what people think, highly intelligent. I think the upside is tremendous for Davis Mills.
And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Pierce. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2nd and 8. They'll run it here with Pierce. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Mills going to keep it on the option right. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. On the carry, this is Pierce. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
Well, if you pull up his college highlight reel, you will see no shortage of great throws, and here's one in his NFL debut for big yardage.
And this is going to be a big test early in his career. How accurate can he be on throws like this? If he keeps doing that, he's going to be just fine.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
Mills now.
Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave. Embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
He'll try again.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game.
And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. Quick slant caught by Kirk.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
A nice completion there for the first down. And Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week one. It's no. We sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day one.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well, and that would appear to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call.
Brandon Sheriff, the all-pro guard, called for the penalty there.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Gets around him. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Jermichael Hasty.
A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
This defense going to bring out a couple extra DBs here on 3rd and a yard.
A run here with Pierce. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds. Says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Now a give right side. It's Pierce finding some room at midfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
57 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The Texans on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Mills. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Play action now. Mills. And this one is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On second down now, it's Pierce. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Rookie Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguar offense ready to take over. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that were going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
From just shy of midfield, Lawrence. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Another completion there. And, we think about the draft back in the spring. He was selected, obviously, the #1 overall pick. There's great money with that, but, Charles, I would think maybe an extra burden, too, or is that not that big of a deal at all?
It actually is in the beginning of his career, an added burden, but it's one of those things that if you play well, it becomes something that justifies why you were taken #1. You're fine with that. If you don't play well, it can be an albatross.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 and second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Lawrence's throw taken in by Ridley here. Touchdown! Calvin Ridley, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. On the return, Tremont Smith. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
They go play action. Mills.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
On play action, Mills.
And that is incomplete.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. The Texans' new punter for 2021, Cameron Johnston, on to punt.
As he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
A very quick pass to Ridley.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now Lawrence.
Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Lawrence going to throw again.
Trying to lay one up deep. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Texans scoop it. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will get the lead up to 14.
So not the greatest of first halves for them, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points doesn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start out in Indy. Seattle in town for the season opener against Indianapolis. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead as those two teams approach halftime. Odell Beckham, a touchdown reception. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the football team at home at FedEx Field. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. 3 touchdown passes in that one for Justin Herbert. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Ryan Tannehill's thrown a touchdown there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Here's Smith to return it. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
They run with Burkhead. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
I thought that Brandon Cooks took over the #1 role for the Texans after DeAndre Hopkins was shipped to Arizona, and he wound up with a team-leading 81 catches in 2020, his most since 2015.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. A second down throw for Mills. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, here's Mills. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Lawrence got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Oh, hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And to give this time to the tailback. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. That's returnable now for Smith. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mills. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Mills now looks to throw on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Again, it's Mills. His throw incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? You can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. And able to find Kirk complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Finds the open target, Arnold. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. It's a throw again is Lawrence. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Now Lawrence. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Arnold. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd and goal, Lawrence. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dan Arnold, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly And the Jags get to him as down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. A nice throw there. We've seen a lot of those from this young man. How would you assess, Charles, his first start thus far?
I think it's been everything that they could have asked for because he's handled all the basic things quite well. And even some of the wrinkles that have been thrown at him, he's shown a lot of poise throughout and made some nice plays.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dan Arnold, already his his second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Jags are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
A first down throw for Mills.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Texans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10.
Mills from the gun on 3rd down.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10.
First down, Mills.
Escaping the pressure right.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off around the 27. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, young quarterback Charles rolling to his right. And I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stopped them behind the line for the 2nd straight play. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Man, tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well.
Here's Smith to return it.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Houston set to take over.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder what plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Hands it off out of the gun, and he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Jacksonville, it's a victory in the debuts of Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, two guys whose fortunes will certainly be linked the next few years. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.